ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरु वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सागररघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमावों विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिनी। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्यत देशतारिणि जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। नमो ब्राह्मण देवाय गो ब्राह्मण हिताय च जगद्हिताय कृष्णाय गोविंदाय ते नमः। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतसे नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। रामाचार्य दास ठाकुर की जय। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा everyone of you can unmute.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा everyone. Okay. So, okay, before we start, let's pay our obeisances to Sri Radha Govind and take their blessing, and Srila Prabhupada and all the acharyas. So we are in chapter 1, Arjuna Vishada Yoga. We covered section A yesterday, which was about introductions, preparation of the war. So what are the things that we covered yesterday? So basically we it started with Sanjaya explaining to Dhritarashtra so what was happening at the warfield Kurukshetra, right? And then we saw like how Duryodhana was surprised to see the strength, the military strength of Pandavas, and he goes to his guru and he gives him a warning like he cannot be lenient towards Pandavas the way how like because the Drishtadyumna was the person who was responsible on like for the chief army in the Pandava side. So he wanted to show that knowing that you are like the Drupada's son is going to kill you, you have been lenient and you taught him all the military skill. So now he has arranged the army so well. So similarly, you are not supposed to be lenient to your favorite students, that is Arjuna and the Pandavas, right? So indirectly he warns his guru, and then we saw Duryodhana mentioning the all the warriors names of both the sides, like he was actually accessing the strength of both the armies, right? And then but he was very confident in a way, like he was thinking like he was condemning Bhima, because our Kaurava strength is Bhishma is protecting us, but then Pandavas are not so compared to, because he was fearful, but still he was trying to boost his team members, like his army. So he was saying they are limited, their strength is limited because it is Bhima, because he was envious of Bhima. So he was speaking like that. But then we know when the corn shell blew, what happened? All their Kauravas' hearts were shattered. So that showed like how fearful they were, and that's a sign that the devotees of the Lord were fearless, because when every one of them, I mean, it's a everyone blew the conch shell, but then only their heart shattered. But Pandavas, nothing happened, because they knew that Krishna is there on side, and there's nothing to worry, right? So that we saw, and then we saw all the nine reasons, like for victory, which were signs of victory, which showed that the Pandavas are going to win even before the war. So those were the thing, and later Arjuna asked Krishna to take the chariot between the two armies, and now he want to access he want to see, right? Before fighting, he has to see, he should know, being a fighter, like what are the strengths and who is there and all that. So when he plays, and Krishna indirectly mentions that, see, like all the kurus are being assembled. When he heard that kurus, so immediately what happened? He became overwhelmed with compassion, because he knew they are all his own family members, right? So now he was feeling very compassionate, and from there we continue. So today's chapter. So verse 28 to 46, Arjuna's doubts. Arjuna's mind reels, thinking how this battle will finish his family and his traditions. He sees great sinful reactions awaiting him if he kills his family members. Feeling it better to be killed unarmed than to fight, Arjuna, his mind overwhelmed with grief, cast aside his bow and sits down upon the chariot. So basically, in the previous, when the wars, we saw that Duryodhana was accessing the strength. Now it's Arjuna's turn. So Arjuna is seeing, and by seeing, he became overwhelmed, right? So he's not able to fight now, because these are because being a, I mean, with their Prabhupada gives, it's because one is that he is a pure devotee of the Lord, and the other one is the material attachment is like that, because he was brought into illusion, and so that this Bhagavad Gita message was to be given to the people who are, I mean, to us, basically the Kali Yuga people, right? How else otherwise we are going to get this knowledge? So this is the scene where Bhagavad Gita is going to start. Arjuna is going to surrender by the end, and from the next chapter, next week, it will be very interesting with the chapters 2 starting, right? So we'll go verse by verse. So verse 28 and 29. So this basically, in the verse, it describes how Arjuna, what was the bodily reactions in Arjuna after seeing the his army, like all his grandparents, children, friends, right? Everyone, because Arjuna was around 86-year-old at the time of war. I mean, even Krishna was the same age, but Krishna looked like a 16-year-old boy, because that is Krishna's age does not go beyond that. Yeah, He's a Navayavvanamcha. Adim Purana Purusham Navayavvanamcha Krishna is. So that is why he means like that. But so Arjuna had grandchildren, everyone were that, right? So when he see all that, though, so what happened? His limbs of the body queering and mouth drying up. He says that that my limbs are queering and mouth is drying up. Reason is sympathy and compassion overwhelmed by kindness, foreseeing their imminent death. Symptoms not due to weakness, but to his soft-heartedness, a characteristic of a pure devotee of the Lord. So here we can understand when whoever is in that position as a leader or a pure devotee. So in that, because they have to see the consequences, right? And what will happen after the war. I mean, so he's thinking so much. So now he starts giving the reasons after this. So Arjuna astonished to see their fighting spirit, because just because of some kingdom, how everyone are so, I mean, they are in a fighting mode to even kill their kinsmen. So he was not able to imagine that, being a pure devotee, right? So genuine devotees of the Lord has all godly qualities. Non-devotees lack such qualities. And Krishna also confirmed this in chapter 16. He says that, don't worry, Arjun, you are born with divine qualities. No? Arjuna is born with divine qualities. And here we see the symptoms, what is happening. Body trembling, hair standing on end, bow slipping from hand, and the skin burning. So all these are symptoms of what? So there are two types. One is the in material condition. So there is a fear. But same thing, all this can happen even when somebody is in on a spiritual plane, or like a one is experiencing a spiritual ecstasy. We see this in the life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? So whenever he used to many times like doing Sankirtan, or when he used to see the Jagannath, Lord Jagannath, he used to have all these symptoms and he used to fall on ground. I mean, it is all because of spiritual ecstasy, but that is not there. The reason is, the difference is that in one place there is a fear, but in the spiritual ecstasy, the fear is not there. So, but everything where there the love is manifested, but here the fear. So, yeah. Arjuna sees only causes of misfortune. So there are further symptoms, unable to stand any longer, forgetting himself, the mind is reeling. So here we see that by Krishna's will, this is all arrangement. We should think this as to be Krishna's arrangement, and which because in the end of 18th chapter, after hearing to Krishna everything, there what does Arjuna say? I have regained my knowledge and memory. Now I know my duty, right? So he was somewhere perplexed here. So Arjuna forgetting himself, this is weakness of mind, because now he has come to that bodily platform. So we are all usually in that only, right? So but he was uh, made to, he was brought to that condition. So this happens because of excessive material attachment, fearfulness, and loss of mental equilibrium. And Arjuna says, I only see the, I mean, there is no good I'm seeing. Nimittani viparitani. So I'm only able to see all misfortune, and there is nothing good happening, right? I mean, what good can we expect? That is what he says. Frustration, thinking, why am I here? I mean, we even when people when they see the death, even how much ever old is a person also, like, because when there is a no knowledge of soul, so this then the person will be very disturbed. But then with the understanding, many people we see that after coming to Krishna consciousness, when they so when there is a uncertain event in the life, or the person is more stronger. I mean, because the spirituality gives more strength, right? It give the right understanding. And the same thing I heard from a devotee only, like when she lost her mother because of a cancer. But then she said she didn't even cry because all the time she was chanting, and she made her mother to hear the chanting, and also they were doing chanting, and she could get the blessings of the deities, whatever they had put the gala in, no? That one devote, she got it. And these are all like, when you understand all that, the importance of it, and so then there is no lamenting much, no? That is why it is very important, like we have the right knowledge. So this is the right knowledge. So, but here, he is not, like now he's completely ignorant to that, right? There's now he's not thinking that he's a soul. He's only thinking on bodily platform. So here it is said, and real interest of jiva. So what is our real interest? So our and this Prahlad Maharaj says that the real self-interest is Vishnu, like nate vidu swartagatim Vishnu. So if I have to be really selfish, so really selfish means I have to be the doing the devotional service to the Lord itself is the real selfishness, because that will only give me the highest good in life. So that is not that interested in own welfare. So own welfare means we are going to suffer. And Arjuna calls Krishna as Keshava. So Keshava means Krishna has many names. Yesterday we saw. So Keshava means who is the killer of demon Keshi. So here why he mentions him as a Keshava, because now he is perplexed and he is not able to, he is unable to decide what is right and wrong. So he wants him, just like how you kill the demon, you kill my doubts, right? So these are the symptoms: limbs quivering, mouth drying up, whole body trembling, heads of the body standing at the end, hands Gandiva his bow, right? This bow slipping, and skin burning, legs unable to stand any longer due to impatience, forgetting myself and mind reeling due to weakness of the heart, sees only causes of misfortune. Even when, if we take, I think some of this may happen in the examination hall, or right? We all, some of this we have faced because of the, when a person is in really, his mind is disturbed. So all this happens. Huh? So these are the symptoms of Arjun. And verse 31. Sorry. Yeah, Arjuna cannot enjoy kingdom at the cost of killing relatives. So he says that, what am I going to do with no enjoyment? No, first one is compassion. Okay, someone can tell what are the 5 reasons that Arjuna gives? You all have attended the level 1, no?
Compassion.
Compassion, yes.
And
Sin. Okay.
Yeah.
Family relations.
Family traditions.
Loss
Yeah.
of family tradition.
Yeah. And
No enjoyment.
no enjoyment. Yes.
Indecision.
Yeah, indecision, which will come in the chapter 2, right? So here he is giving what? Cannot enjoy kingdom at the cost of killing relatives. So even we cannot enjoy, right? If you want to enjoy, or you're going out somewhere or vacation, if there are along with you your family, only then family and friends, you will be having more enjoyment. Alone means it is not that enjoyable, right? So also similarly, Arjuna is also saying that, what am I going to do at the end, after winning this kingdom? With whom do I enjoy with, right? Everybody are going to get killed. So what am I going to do with this kingdom? That's what he says here. But as per the Shastras, as a Kshatriya, it is more glorious to die in war than to renounce it, right? And it is said in the Shastras that one who dies, it is said glorious, and he can attain the spiritual planet. Here it's mentioned the sun planet. That kind of body he'll get. So more facility are there. So obviously compared to this world. And Arjuna has forgotten the moral codes because a Kshatriya cannot run away like that from war. So all this is happening because of his material attachment, attachment to bodily relationship, hoping to be happy. So that is why he's thinking that how can I kill my relatives and there's no happiness. So Prabhupada gives an analogy here. So when a person is not hungry, right? So he doesn't want to cook. So it's obvious. So especially if you are doing Ekadashi, right? Or Ekadashi, that time you are anyways not eating. So you will feel like you are not in a mood to prepare more items or anything for your family people also that day, right? It can happen because when a person is not hungry, he'll not cook. So that is why this is given. So similarly, so he is not ready to fight. So he is giving those reasons, right? He decided to lead a secluded forest. Like he thought that better I can beg and eat, or I can go to forest, but not uh, killing the relatives. Arjuna not ready to fight even in exchange of 3 words. So Arjuna says here, and he calls Krishna as Govinda. Why is he addressing Govinda? Because Krishna is the pleasure giving. I mean, he gives pleasure to all cows and senses. So Arjuna is indirectly telling Krishna that you have to satisfy my senses, Krishna. Right? That is why he calls Govinda. You are the pleasure giving. So he does not know that Krishna is not to satisfy our sense, but then but we have to satisfy Krishna senses. Then automatically our senses get satisfied. No? Yasmin tushte jagat tushte. So when Krishna is satisfied, everyone else is satisfied. So we know like we keep on satisfying the people around us and everyone. But how much ever you do, there is a limitation. I mean, we are not, people are not happy. People won't get satisfied. But Krishna is satisfied very easily. Patram pushpam palam toyam. Krishna says in chapter 9, you just give me a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or a water, and I am satisfied. Can anyone be satisfied with that? Right? Krishna is very easy to satisfy, only with love. If you give love, only what Krishna asks for is the love from the living entity, because we are part and parcel of him. So here, it's not right that we expect Krishna to satisfy our senses. We have to satisfy Krishna's senses, then automatically we get that satisfaction. So Madhusudana, he addressed, somebody has some disturbances coming. He calls him Madhusudana again. So like Keshi Sudana, Madhusudana. So Madhusudana also, Krishna is a killer of demon Madhu. So he also mentions here that. So Krishna, you have killed the demon, and now you are expecting me to kill my relatives. You have only killed the demon, not the relatives. Huh? So indirectly he's calling him as Madhusudana, so that he understands. So here the same thing is we can see in this picture. I mean the illustration, right? Krishna senses. So a living entity, when it satisfies Krishna senses, then by Lord's will, all the desires are satisfied. But when living entity is satisfying his own desire, what happens? Lord will satisfy to the extent they deserve, not desire. So not everything. I mean, only what I desire, I will get. Because we know, but because Krishna is there as Paramatma in our heart, sometimes we experience whatever I desire, I will get it, right? Because there God has sanctioned it. Well, then not always. Sometimes I desire, but I won't get. Why? Because I don't deserve it, and Krishna has not sanctioned it. Unless Krishna has not sanctioned, nothing, a blade of grass also cannot move. It is said, right? So it cannot be sanctioned. So yeah. So we should not think that Krishna is our order supplier, and because this is what happens when we go to Lord. I mean, before coming to Krishna consciousness, right? Now at least we have reduced. We don't do so much. We are not supposed to, because if we are asking Krishna for some material things, then it is not a pure devotional service. pure devotional service means there should not be any motive. Ahaituki apratiyata, it is said. So there should not be any motive, and it should be without break. So what will happen are to devatas usually? Why do to different devatas people go? Because in Vedas it is mentioned that you worship of some devata, you get some benediction, different. So we go to Lord also, we ask for, we think Krishna, give me this, give me that. No, so that is not, because he knows that what should be given when. The only thing is we should be ready to surrender to Lord, and yeah, that is the message here. So Arjuna's material calculation, unable to share opulences with relatives, decides not to fight even in exchange of revolts. So what is the spiritual understanding? Devotee ready to accept any opulence Krishna wants. Do not complain otherwise if Krishna not desire. See, this was once Prabhupada when he was in West. So his disciples brought a Royce car, right? He was sitting, and the journalist was very much. I mean, he was asking Prabhupada that he was indirectly he was mentioning that being a spiritual master, why should he have all that opulence? Like he should be having some ordinary car. Why is he coming in that very hi-fi car? So what Prabhupada mentioned is like is Krishna sits in a golden chariot, and the spiritual master is representation of Krishna, right? So he is also equal to God, and he should be respected like God. Though he does not, he never calls, a spiritual master never calls himself a God, and but he should be respected in the same way as the Lord. Sakshat Daritrena Samasta Shastre, no? It is said. So he knows everything, because he knows the truth, the spiritual master, and he says that. And what this Rolls Royce is only made of tin and rubber, right? And it is not enough, Prabhupada says. So that is what is said here. The spiritual understanding is devotee does not reject anything. Anything, if you're going in that car and your purpose is to serve the Lord, spread the message of Krishna, what's wrong? No? So this is called as Yukta Vairagya. And this is okay to accept opulence if Krishna wants. So do not complain otherwise if Krishna not desire. And Arjuna, being devotee, very kind-hearted, wants to forgive his relatives. Lord tolerates mischief on himself, not for his devotees. Lord is determined to punish them. Yeah. So we know like Krishna will break the rules also if it is for his devotees, because in the Mahabharata war, like when uh, Krishna had taken an oath that he is not going to lift weapon. But when Bhishma was about to kill Arjun, so Krishna couldn't tolerate. He immediately lifted the chariot wheel and he was running towards Bhishma to kill him. Right? So he cannot tolerate, I mean, anything against his devotees. So that is Krishna is so loving. Arjuna, fearful of sinful reaction. So this is the third reason. First was compassion we saw, and then enjoyment. Now sinful reaction. So in our Vedas, it is mentioned that there are 6 kind of aggressors. Who are they? Poison giver, one who sets fire to the house, one who attacks with deadly weapon, one who plunders riches, one who occupies another's land, one who kidnaps another's wife. So these people are liable for, they can be killed. And even if you kill them, there is no sinful reaction. This is what our Shastras say. So it is just any one of them, if they can be killed. But these Kauravas have done all with them, right? When Arjuna was young, so Bhima was young, Duryodhana gave him the poison, right? But he didn't die. So they had given poison, and Dhritarashtra had made a house of lac. So that's that material called lac, and from the what they plant when they are asleep in the night, they plan to kill Pandavas, right? And then one who attacks with deadly weapon, and who plunders riches. So the Shakuni, right? The dice game they wanted, they played, and they wanted to cheat them and took away all their riches. One who occupies another's land, they took the Pandavas' land, and one who kidnaps another wife. So, um so how, like, they try to, in foul means, they try to take Draupadi away, right? So, and one more, the other time there was the Jarasandha. He also tried to kidnap Draupadi. So these are all they have done. Still, he says that Papa meva Shraye Dasman Hatvetanata Tainaha. He says that we will only get this in Krishna because they don't know maybe what is right or wrong. But we being on the dharmic side, so he's giving gyan to Krishna that how can we kill them, right? Even they are Atataina. Atataina means this six aggressors. So how can we kill such people? So Madhava, he addresses here, husband of goddess of fortune. So killing is not a good fortune, right? So he's mentioning here Madhava. So Madhava indicated that Krishna should not engage Arjuna. That would ultimately bring more about misfortune. Krishna, however, never brings misfortune to anyone, to say nothing of his devotees, right? Even the who is that? The Putana. Putana also, he gave the position of mother because she fed her breast milk. So that is the position of the Lord. So what to speak of devotees, right? Arjuna sees destruction of family. Arjuna sees due to, so this is the fourth reason, destruction of family. So Arjuna sees due to greed, the opposite party is ready to fight and kill each other. Arjuna understands results of war, destruction of family. He sees not defeats in uh, participating in this sinful activity. Kshatriya should not refuse invitation of gambling and war. Arjuna sees that other party is blind to effect of this challenge. He, knowing he will consequence, not ready to fight. So actually, uh, as a Kshatriya, so many people think like, why was Yudhishthira accepted the gambling? So it's as per the rule. So it is said the Kshatriya cannot deny the invitation. So knowingly, Duryodhana wanted him to bring. I mean, he know that they had become even on the barren land. I mean, they made. I mean, he actually witnessed the Rajasuya Yagna which Yudhishthira performed after their back, right? So when he saw that wealth, so much of wealth he is having, so he wanted to steal that from him. So that is why he invites him for gambling. And yeah, so these two things they cannot deny. And they have to actually, it's also said the Kshatriya cannot beg and eat. So for them, they need to have some land and they have to rule. That is the way. I mean, as a Kshatriya, that's how they have to live as per Varnashrama system. So that is why Krishna asked just a village for each of the brothers, 5 villages, 5 brothers, 5 Pandavas, no, but they were not ready to give. So yeah. So what will happen here? It is shown a destruction of dynasty. So all the soldiers will be killed. All the head of the family will be killed. What will happen when all the elders of the family is killed? The family tradition vanquished. Family involved in a religion. How? So it is. You can see further down in Varnashrama system. Elder member of the family are responsible for purification process in family from birth to death. So there are many process which is mentioned in the Manusmriti, which has to be followed in the Varnashrama system from the time when there is a birth in the family till the death. There, those rituals has to be performed. So basically, what is this Varnashrama system? Is a gradual elevation to a spiritual because you can't directly take because a devotion service. Not everybody are ready to take immediate, but then for each Varnashrama system, how to follow gradually, how one can go to that platform, right? That is mentioned in that. So, and then death of elder will stop that purification process. So there is a like Shraddha and all this. Arjuna mentions that the people they will stop all that because they don't know. There is no knowledge. No, nobody is giving them the knowledge. How will the younger generation know? Because all the soldiers, all men will get killed in the war. So who is going to protect the children and women in the family, and what will happen to the family tradition? So then the when younger members will become irreligious, they are called what? Varna Sankara, the word which Arjuna used, Varna Sankaras. They become Varna Sankaras, right? And lose chance for spiritual salvation. So this is 16 samskaras which is mentioned in Manusmriti. So we can see here. So this is even before birth. Garbhadana samskara is said to be. So before birth, so Prabhupada also, there is a ritual. So before a woman is conceived, so that ritual is performed so that they get a child which has all the godly qualities. So Prabhupada also introduced this in ISKCON, and for all his grihasthas, he said, like, before they can have a child, they need to chant every day 50 rounds, both of them, husband and wife, and then they have to beget a child. And he said that then the child will be like a Vaikunta child, such a divine qualities. Child will be of all divine qualities. And why we are not having the divine qualities? Why we see so much demonic quality in the world? Because there's no proper purification method followed, because the people are not aware. These are all have been already, like, it has become extinct, like, so there is no awareness. And then we can see, like, there's a in the third month pregnancy, Simanta, and the Jataka and Namakarana. So like that, many are there, Annaprashana. So we can see here. So everything, piercing ear, first time hair cutting, piercing ear, child is taught to write first time. Yeah. I think few of it, we as a children, we have also gone through, right? Can all remember. Upanayana. So this is basically done in the for in a Brahminic family, it is done. But here, when somebody Prabhupada has given this Brahminical thread to, irrespective of their birth, whichever birth they have taken, if they because they all they become more than Brahmana when they become Vaishnava and they have taken initiation, because they are going through all that process, and because of purification, and it's a mercy of the Guru. So he accepts him as a disciple, and from there it will be like a new birth for a person. So all the previous sins will be eradicated, and his it's like a new birth for a person who takes the initiation. And yeah, so then there are so many other things we can see here. The before and after each year of study, and the first menstrual first shave, end of student life. So there is some procedure, and then marriage and last rites. So all this from birth to this. So this is called 16 samskaras. Verse further, it is explained here how the destruction of family is happening, right? Varnashrama system for peace, prosperity, and spiritual progress in life. So we see, I think this is the same thing we can see here. So yeah. So then what will happen when the people are not following the religious principles? So then there is no understanding. So people are unnecessarily involved in, they're in mode of ignorance and passion. So the risk of war and pestilence is more. No? And irresponsible leader bring chaos in society by destroying Sanatana Dharma. So that is why in earlier period, whoever want to be leader, right? A leader has to be a Rajarishi. So he who knew that he has to bring his the subjects, his people to the highest platform. He has to give the Krishna conscious. So even whoever was king, he was completely aware of all these things. What is the center? Center should be the Lord, and all the other Varnashrama has to work in a proper manner. So that, but now we see that leaders are not no more like that. That is why Prabhupada never liked this democracy. Democracy, Prabhupada says, demons gone crazy. So he doesn't. He always like the, because you never get a right candidate. It's only based on these votes, and we know like how much it happens, like for money, or and anybody can become a leader, and a person who is not properly educated, he'll be leading the society. What can such society get from such kind of leaders, right? So that is why earlier these kings used to have the they also have to have they had the brahmanas who used to give them suggestions like how would the country run. And brahmanas were not taking money, they don't work for money, no. So that is why they had so much respect, and they had a power to bring the king down also from his position. So that was a position of a brahmana, he can do all that. But now what will happen when all this is not there? So people become irresponsible leaders, and there are, because there is no proper guidance. So this is the concern of Arjuna, and he says that gives rise to unwanted progeny. So here, okay, young members become irreligious. When irreligious is prominent, women like children needs protection. So Prabhupada says that women also had to be protected just like children. They need, and as per in our Vedic, what our Veda says, women, when she's a young girl, she needs protection of from parent, and when she comes to youth, the husband will protect her, and in her old age the children will protect. So this protection should be there, otherwise it is so what will happen, they are like a children and they can be easily misled. That is what it says. So they're innocent, and the men can misuse, and that is why it is said here it can give rise to unwanted progeny or hellish condition. So this is what is mentioned here. In family who destroys family tradition, and ancestors are not delivered because the shraddha and the shraddha and these things are not followed. But as per Bhagavatam, it says that these rules, these are all not, I mean, one has to perform, we saw the 16 samskaras, no? This is not really required for a person who has taken shelter of Krishna. Because what Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Leave all those religions, all religions, but take shelter of me. So I will say. So similarly, this in the Bhagavatam also, it says that these rules are not applicable when he takes shelter of Krishna. So yeah, Arjuna heard from Dharma Shastra. So here he says uh, that Arjuna mentions there that all this I have heard from the Dharma Shastra or Vedas. So right, Bhavati Tyanu Shushuma, he says that I've been hearing, and that Narake Niyatam Vasad. So those people who destroy this family tradition, I've heard it, Krishna, that they go to hell. So here also one thing we can take here, where the hearing is given more important. So whatever we learn from Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge is coming from the disciplic succession through hearing. Because these things we cannot all experience, we can only understand. No? Because what Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita. So here also we can see how Arjuna is giving importance to from hearing from the right source or the authorities. So degradation of society, superiors are killed, destruction of the family, 1.39 verse, destruction of eternal family tradition, which Vedic rituals will stop. Irreligion predominates in family, women become polluted, unchaste, unwanted progeny, Varna Sankara. So present society, we see all kind of community project and family welfare. And in the verse he says, so everything will be stopped. The family welfare activities are devastated. So this will result in chaos in society. So this is what we see in the Kali Yuga. It is said about Kali Yuga, Prayena alpaishu kale asmin yuge janaha manda sumanda matayo manda bada upadrita. So how are the people of Kali Yuga? Parashramani, he says, no, it's Vyas, I think. Vyasdev. So it comes in Bhagavatam, where he could see the Kali Yuga, how it will be. So they'll not live for a long time, very short-lived. Manda Sumanda Mateo, they're very dull-headed, I mean, and less intelligent. And it said Manda Sumanda Mateo, Manda, and very lazy. Manda Bada Upadrit, always mentally disturbed. So these are the predictions which was said. So why all this is happening? Because when we have forgot our roots, and all this is very common in the society. Someone can read this. Hare Krishna. Yeah, Harshita, please read.
If one lives for 100 years, he should spend 25 years in student life, 25 years in householder life, 25 in retired life, and 25 in the renounced order of life. These are the regulations of Vedic religious discipline. A man retired from a household life must practice austerities of the body, mind, and tongue. That is tapasya. The entire Varnashrama Dharma society is meant for tapasya. Without tapasya or austerity, no human being can get liberation.
Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So this is Srila Prabhupada. So basically this was our system. So everybody had to go through this, like at the age of 5, a child was sent to the Gurukul, right? There the Guru will see the qualities of the child, and based on that he will decide whether he has a Brahmanical quality, then he'll be a Brahmana. So not necessary that by birth one should be Brahmana or Kshatriya. It is like what are the qualities developed? The Guru will decide whether he'll be a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra, right? So then accordingly, and they had a choice. When they come to 25, they can decide whether they want to take a Grihastha or they want to be a Brahmachari, right? And Prabhupada mentions here one word, that tapasya is very important for, and this is all Varnashrama Dharma speak about tapasya. So some tapasya is needed in a human life, right? Only in human life this is possible. That is why this getting up early, it may be getting up early in the Brahma Muhurta and chanting, and all these are austerity, and keeping Ekadashi. All this is austerity. Some austerity is needed. Otherwise, one cannot get liberation, is what mentioned here. So next, Arjuna is fearful of sinful reaction. So Arjuna's fear of sinful reaction is killing relatives, driven by desire to enjoy royal happiness. So better to die in the battlefield unarmed. Arjuna's soft-heartedness being a devotee. So he says that I don't. I will not fight. He gives up. He puts his Gandiva down. Right. He says, I will not fight. I better be unarmed. So basically, it is said when someone is unarmed. In a Kshatriya, they're not supposed to fight. You cannot shoot a arrow against someone who is not having a weapon in his hand. So Arjuna is saying here, I'm okay. I'll be unarmed, and even unarmed, if they're going to kill me, I am okay with that. I am okay to die from those people, but I cannot do this war. So he is overwhelmed with grief. We can see here, right? We can see in this picture. So saintly qualities of Arjuna. Okay, anyone wants to read? Someone else can do it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, may I?
Yeah, please.
Saintly qualities of Arjuna. Soft-heartedness, does not want to kill even for exchange of 3 worlds, ready to forgive any aggressors, though there is no reaction in killing them. Considers evil consequences even at the risk of refusing obligation to fight. Conscious of obligations to protect family traditions and morals. He does not think that I am transcendental and I have no obligations. Arjuna, being saintly, is conscious of moral principles. how he can kill one's relatives based on selfish motives, ready to be killed unharmed but not retaliate. Custom according to Kshatriya fighting principles, unarmed and unwilling for foe should not be attacked. These symptoms are due to soft-heartedness resulting from being a great devotee. Kept his bow down, even broke his vow of not keeping the bow once lifted. Conclusion: such a kind and soft-hearted person is fit to receive self-knowledge, transcendental knowledge. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So we can see how godly qualities were there in Arjuna, which made him fit to receive this knowledge. So why everyone say like why only Arjuna was chosen by Krishna? Because Krishna says in chapter 4, Bhaktosi me Sakha cheti. So that is you are my bhakta, you are my devotee, and also Sakha, you are my dearest friend. That is why I'm giving you this knowledge. So bhakta means automatically he has all those godly qualities. No? All the saintly qualities is there in the devotee, because he don't want to harm unnecessarily, no? Any living entity. Though it is a problem for me, he is ready to take it, but he don't want to harm others. So that is a great quality of a devotee. So the summary. So as the opposing army stood poised for battle, Arjuna, the mighty warrior, saw his intimate relatives, teachers, and friends in both armies ready to fight and sacrifice their lives. Overcome by grief and pity, Arjuna failed in strength. His mind became bewildered and he gave up his determination to fight. So this was all we saw, like after seeing the army, what was the things happened, and he expressed. And see, one beautiful thing we see Arjuna very openly, he expressed everything. He's not like because what is the position of Arjuna? He's such a great warrior. He's a he has won Pashupati Astra from Lord Shiva, and Lord Indra has given him so many Astra, and he was such a great, like he's called Gudakesha, who has won the sleep, and so all that thing he's having, but he was not a like he didn't have any false ego kind, like I should not be I cannot become small in front of Lord. So it is okay, we have where do we show our weakness, right? We can always express in front of God that Krishna, I'm not able to advance in bhakti, or like I'm not able to develop love towards you, so please do help me. So there's nothing wrong in asking Krishna, right? Asking suggestion. So one has to have that surrendering attitude. That is why, which is pleasing Krishna. And 5 reasons which Arjuna gives here: compassion. Arjuna's compassion for those he about to slay dictates he shouldn't fight. Enjoyment. Arjuna thinks that he will not be able to enjoy his kingdom if kingdom is won at the cost of lives of his family members. So he is not interested to fight. So destruction of family, irreligion and unwanted progeny will overcome the family. Performance of traditional Varnashrama-oriented Vedic rituals will end, and hell will await both the family and the destroyer of the family. So this was the all Varnashrama-oriented thing, which mentions that if you kill like that, so you are also going to go to hell. But all this will not apply for a devotee because he is doing as per the instruction of Lord. So nothing, no sin will come. Saintliness and fear of sinful reaction. Arjuna thinks enjoying royal happiness is not worth the resulting sinful reaction for destroying the family and killing his superiors. In the beginning of chapter 2, gave the following reason: indecision. So the last one he gave, actually does not Arjuna does not actually know which is better, conquering the enemy or being conquered by them, right? So let them conquer me, let them kill me. I'm not going to fight. I'll drop the weapons. That's what he said last. So he's confused actually, which is right. He has come to fight, but which is yes, he has to do or not, he is not sure. So when he surrenders, we see in the whole chapter of 1 that Krishna does not open his mouth, right? So but in the Krishna only starts giving the Bhagavad Gita knowledge from chapter 2 after Arjuna surrenders. So that we will see in the next chapter. I think, yeah. So this is compiled from teachings of Bhagavad Gita as it is and surrender unto me, written by Bhuri Janadasa Prabhu, and this is compiled by this Amritananda Das Prabhu. So with this we come to the end of chapter 1. Hare Krishna. So any questions on today's? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, thank you.
Mataji,
Yes. Somebody asked.
Mataji, actually, I'll wake up in Brahma Muhurta, but how many rounds should be chanted, Mataji?
16 rounds is what Prabhupada has given. So if you follow 16 rounds Hare Krishna mantra and follow the 4 regulative principles, Prabhupada says, I will take you to God, back to Godhead. And when Prabhupada has
No,
promised,
Mataji,
obviously,
I'm asking you is, I used to chant 1 round in the morning. After that, I am continuing the 16 rounds. In the Brahma Muhurta only, we should chant 16 rounds. So what I'm asking you,
yeah,
Mataji.
that is what is Prabhupada has given us. But it is not compulsory, it is not done. He has only told in a day you have to do 16. But yes, Brahma Muhurta in temple and also all the most of the devotees who are serious, they get up in the Brahma Muhurta and they complete. We have this temple link.
Okay,
You can
Mataji.
join and chant along with the devotees in the morning. We have, the
Okay,
temple
Mataji.
link, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Mataji, I have.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you,
Apurva
Mataji. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Apurva Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Like you told that Krishna chose Arjuna to speak the knowledge, but other Pandavas were also the devotees of Lord. Then why not them?
No, Krishna was more friend with Arjuna. No? We know that they had very special relationship, and also he's a eternal associate. Arjuna is not a normal, like he was a Nara Narayana. Wherever Arjuna is there, Arjuna and Krishna come together in every yuga. So, but he says that he forgets because he is coming as a normal living entity, but Krishna is as a Paramatma. Arjuna doesn't remember, but then he has been his eternal associate. He's not an ordinary. So, yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Hare Krishna Mataji. Okay, Ravi Prabhuji says, great class. Thank you. Is it possible to include some important words in the presentation? Yeah, evenly while going through, even I felt the same. So this was already a ready one. Maybe what next class we could do, I will check it out in the slide if there is no it is nice if we have some verses there. Or maybe one of you can, who are good at verses, reading verse, can have a book with you. So when I mention the verse number, one can read that from the book. That also we can do. Yeah, but I have checked this already, like regarding sharing the PPT. We are not allowed. So you may make the notes, Prabhu. Otherwise. Okay. So I've checked this already. Thank you. Okay, any other questions you have? And I think Bhakti Vriksha group will be formed. I don't know if you are already there or not there. I think it will be, yeah, okay, not there, right? Okay, soon it will be done and shared in the group. So you all can have groups and do a study properly in the in suitable time, like in the morning, or some days, weekdays, whoever. In this group also somebody can take the initiative or who wants to. I think there is already, I heard, I don't know today, Santosh Prabhu is there? No, no, he's not there. I think there is one devotee who is ready to take that. So you, whoever is interested in that timing, you can join. Otherwise, one of you can take initiative and make a, I mean, you can start that. We'll see. We'll post in the group. Okay, already Advait says that he has Bhakti Vriksha. Assignment for the week will be posted in the group. Okay, it will be. Okay, you had for level 1 itself. Oh, but level 1 we usually don't have this Vriksha. I was not knowing this. Okay, who was taking that? I mean, is it still continuing? Are you reading the books and all that? Is there any? Okay, last week. Okay, very nice. Okay, so maybe the same group, maybe they convert to level 2. I don't know. I need to check with admins. We'll inform you in the group. Okay. Yes, Apurva.
Mataji, the other books that you are mentioning here, will you provide PDFs for that?
For which one? Okay,
The-
yesterday somebody asked me to post Bhagavad Gita English. I forgot. Yeah, I'll post. Yeah, what books you said?
Like
Which books?
the other books other than the Gita?
For level 2, you have only Gita.
Yes, okay.
Okay. For that, for the other books, everything is available in Veda-based soft copies. Yeah, books are available, but it is better you have a hard copy with you so that in pencil also, anywhere you want to write anything, you can mark, and something you can write if required. Hard copy is good to have. I mean, if you're seeing that book, you will feel like reading. I mean, otherwise you may not go browse and read. Nah?
Okay.
Yeah. But for now, you can deep study the Bhagavad Gita with purports and all that. So complete this chapter reading and then take the exam. And I will ask to post regarding the Bhakti Vriksha group, okay, in the group. So you all can join there. So you all compulsorily, you have to be in one of the Bhakti Vriksha group because the association is very important, right? So otherwise, alone reading is not that easy. You can, in a group, it is good. And also there are like, you have that like different people have their opinions. I mean, the discussion will be good. So the Smaranam will be good. You'll be able to have better memory when you are in a group and discuss the things. Anything else? I think this was a simple chapter. So, okay. So if there is no other question, then we can close. Pancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anantakoti Vaishnavandi ki jai, Namacharya Das Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can we all chant 3 times Hare Krishna?
Hare.
You can all unmute. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare.
And also, there is a attendance, okay? You all have to mark the attendance. It will be posted in group. Mark your attendance and the sadhana form. Okay, there will be a sadhana form. I think it will be mentioned like how many rounds you're doing, or like I think it will be mentioned or the attendance form. It will be posted. Please fill that form. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. See you all next week. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare
Thank you,
Hare Krishna.
Mataji,
Hare
Dandavat Pranam.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna.